Good morning. Good morning. This is the 23rd day of June, my birthday month. So it is officially my birthday eve, the eve of my birthday. My birthday is tomorrow. Been an interesting month because I've been doing the Sekou movement, daily movement challenge. I'll talk about that more in the Hero hoodie, the Hero movement update. It's beyond hoodies now, so I'll talk about that in a bit. But yesterday was Film Festival Tuesday. My friend Rush coined that phrase, Film Festival Tuesday, because he and I were in a film festival, the Roxbury International Film Festival, for the second time. So shout out to the Roxbury International Film Festival. They hosted us and screened our film in 2015 when it was first created, and it had a different name, and it was a little bit shorter and a little bit less polished. And so this was kind of a full circle moment for us. So I am the director. He's the star of this documentary short that we created spontaneously when we were test driving a car, actually here in Nashville. And that test drive turned into a racially charged incident, or was affected by a racially charged incident. And so yesterday we had a screening, and that was followed by a talk back. Our film was screened in a block of short films. There were 7 films in that block. And then as many of the directors and producers that were available came on the Q&A afterwards. So if you want to check that out, it's still up. You can go to roxburyfilmfest.com. I'll put that website up. There we go. roxfilmfest.com. Both my film, the 6 other films, and the Q&A are up on the website, so you can check those out. So anyway, I want to talk about that because in the process of talking about the film and remembering what happened and how it happened, I realized that it fits into my theme, my 3 Fs, my flash, faith, and fitness theme that occurred to me when I was on my deer run. If you don't know about the deer run, go back a couple episodes. Go back to Monday of this week and you'll hear me talk about the deer run and the deer that was wagging his tail. You gotta hear that story. Anyway, so this is how it fits in. So around in 2015, there was similar tension, similar racial tension to what's happening now-ish. So the Mike Brown verdict had come down and no officers had been charged with any crimes. And the same thing had happened for Eric Garner. And they had happened in rapid succession, like one month, and then the next, and then the other group of police officers got off the next month. And so there was a lot of angst and anxiety. And so my first flash was, I'm going to do something about that. And I immediately started walking it back. The faith immediately became fear. I had that flash and I was like, well, I don't know. I don't want to do too much. And so what I did is I literally asked Rush to wear a hoodie while I was shooting him, filming him. And then that would be my very subtle homage to Trayvon Martin and to Eric Garner and Mike Brown. And so I wasn't going to address it head on. I was going to kind of address it subtly. So that was the first flash, and I did not have the faith. So I didn't have the faith to address it directly. I wanted to address it subtly, right? And then the day that we went out to do the shoot, I should mention that Rush didn't even own a hoodie. We had to buy a hoodie at Walmart for him to wear for the shoot because he's always 3-piece suit, button down, everything. So we buy a hoodie at Walmart and we go next door basically to this vacant lot, broad daylight, middle of the day, busy thoroughfare. And we're taking pictures of him next to the vehicle. And within minutes, we were accosted by these white men with guns about where we were and what we were doing. And they weren't police officers. They just were taking the law into their own hands. Now, this was my second flash. I did not realize it at the time. But here again, the universe is saying, address this directly. Address it directly. And I'm trying to, skip around the edges and not really address it directly. So that was my second flash. And it took me some time to develop the faith to lead into it because my immediate concern was, what's the car company going to say? Which is a weird reaction to have, right? I was in a life-threatening situation or a potentially life-threatening situation, and I'm worried about how the car company is going to feel about it. So it was a weird reaction to have, but that is the reaction I had. So it took me some time to have enough faith to follow through and address these issues directly, to talk about them in real time. This is what happened to us. We were test driving a car and it became this whole other thing. Let's talk about that. And I know that it took me time because in early screenings, like in the 2015 screening of the film, one of my friends in New York saw it and she said, well, why are there so many car shots? I feel like it's a car commercial. And it was like I was still thinking in the mindset of a car blogger / journalist. I'm still trying to cover the car, even though we're talking about race and racism. So I was still leaning away a bit. And so it's taken me these 6 years, really, 6 years to really lean into the greater story, the broader story, the idea that this film, as we talked about yesterday in the panel, can change hearts and minds. It can influence people to think about race in a different way. Because what I said in that panel is that test driving a car is a fairly universal experience. Most of us have had the experience of test driving a car in as a prelude to purchasing it, at least, or test driving a friend's car. Many of us have had the experience of test driving a car. And because that's a universal feeling, a universal notion, it's easier for people to have empathy about our test drive experience because it went to a completely different place. So in that way, it's connecting dots for people that other things I've done haven't. So it's much bigger than the car. Like it is about race and racism in a bigger way. And it's taken me 6 years of a little bit more faith and a little bit more faith and a little bit more faith to finally be able to lean into it. And so now the fitness part comes in. The fitness part comes in terms of staying the course, because in those 6 years, I put the film down a couple times. And it's just, the moving in the rhythm of God's grace that I happened to pick it back up just before George Floyd. Because people think that I made the film just now in response to George Floyd. Nope. Eric Garner, Mike Brown, 6 years ago, pushed the film, let it fall by the wayside, and just picked it up again right before George Floyd. So it's already anointed in that way. It's already this series of flashes that are telling me to have faith and have the fitness to follow through. And honestly, all of those things didn't occur to me until yesterday during the panel. And I was like, I have been getting these flashes over the course of 6 years that are telling me to have faith and to have the fitness to ride it out all the way through. Because I wanted other people to get involved. I've wanted the car companies to get involved. And now I understand that it's bigger than the car companies. It's not their story. It's not their gift. And it's not a gift for them. It's a gift for me to give to others and to help change ideas and thoughts about race and racism. So that was a revelation for me yesterday during the panel. I'm excited about it. Also, if you missed it, fret not. Tomorrow, my actual birthday, I am doing another panel, a different panel with a different group of people right here on the New Thought Media Network. Oh, shout out to the New Thought Media Network also for screening Test Driving While Black a couple months ago. I think that was April. We screened Test Driving While Black right here on the New Thought Media Network. It was hosted by Reverend Z, who did a great talk back with me and Rush, the reluctant star of the film. And so really well. And so tomorrow, right here on the New Thought Media Network, right here where you're watching me right now, you'll be able to see me talking about Test Driving While Black in a bigger panel that will be celebratory because it will be my birthday. So tune back in tomorrow. That'll be tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. You have to do the math for the different time zones. But yeah, it'll be really exciting. And I'll talk about it again on this show, The Hero Show, tomorrow morning, I'll remind you. So anyway, excited about that. All right, so I think that's it in terms of my revelation, in terms of applying the Flash faith fitness paradigm to my experience with Test Driving While Black, my documentary film. So let me get into some hero ministry updates. All right, so the first thing I should mention is the challenge. This is day 23 of the challenge. That means that I have run at least 23 miles because my challenge to myself was to jog a mile every day for the month of June. So I'm 23 plus because there have been some days when I've gone well over that. So I'm excited about that. I'm very proud of myself. And even at the very beginning, when I first announced that commitment to myself, other people joined in. And I'm super excited about that. We're up to 42 people, the oldest of which is 81. 81. I'm super excited about that. So I'm excited to have inspired this movement, and other people have said some really, really great things. They've thanked me for being an inspiration, and they've talked about how much weight they've lost and how it's changed their lives and how it's been life-changing. And it's great to feel like they're part of a community of movement and of working out. So I'm very humbled by all of that. I'm grateful that it's happened, and it's a great birthday gift for me to be of service to others. So shout out to you for doing the work. All right, so that's that. And yeah, so I'm doing the t-shirt drive. I'm back to the classic hero t-shirt today. And as you know, if you've been watching the show, I've got 3 different hero t-shirts. This is the classic, the original. The shirts are available. I'm trying to make sure you can see the crown. There's the crown. So the shirts are available in the store, which is just giveherohoodies.com. That'll take you to my Etsy page, and you can see all the products there. The t-shirts and the socks and the hoodies are all go-go, meaning get one, gift one. You get one for yourself, and I will gift one to the unhoused community. In addition to that, I'm also giving 50% of the proceeds to nonprofits that are providing services to the unhoused, so the people who are on the front lines. And I'm also working with Project Love Strong. They're the nonprofit here that I've been most involved with here in Nashville, Tennessee. They work with the unhoused directly, and they have the 3rd annual Teas and Tea event coming up in July 24th, exactly a month to the day away from my birthday. They've got the Teas and Tea event, and my intention is to support that event by showing up with brand new hero shirts and brand new hero socks and money for their nonprofit, Project Love Strong. So please help me do that. Here, once again, is the website. It's just giveherohoodies.com. I might have to change that to give hero, the giving ministry, give hero ministry. I gotta play with that because obviously it's beyond hoodies now, so I'm gonna have to change that URL to something a little more appropriate. So anyway, thank you for all the support, all the kind words about the challenge and about what I'm doing with the unhoused. It's been a blessing for me, so I'm glad that it's also a blessing to you. So make sure to tune back in at 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern for Rev Melissa. She'll be back doing her Sit with Rev Melissa, which I will be producing, and I'll probably be popping in the background to say a couple things about the sermon. So until then, keep doing, be a hero, be your own hero. That's most important. And remember that now is better than perfect. Later.